I think they solved the ping issue, right?
Yeah, they probably did. Start of hello. First এসে জিনবেন। So welcome guys. আজকে ফাইনালসটা স্টার্ট হচ্ছে। আমার সাথে আছে আমাদের জনপ্রিয় মোল্লা একে ফেথ।
বাহ বাস তারপরে
বাস তুমি তামিতে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করে দাও নাকি আমি করব? আমার সব করতে
ভাই
হবে।
আমি আমার ইন্ট্রোডাকশনের দরকার নাই, আই এম অলরেডি এনাফ ফেমাস।
ফেমাস হ্যাঁ
Yes.
না, আরো
ইভেন
ফেমাস,
ফরবিডেন থেকে
আরো
বেশি
আরো হওয়া
ফেমাস
লাগবে, আরো হওয়া লাগবে, আরো হওয়া লাগবে।
ফরবিডেন
Alright,
থেকেও
alright.
ফেমাস খালি একটু কয়েকটা
ভাই
বললাম
I killed Forbidden twice today.
এক্স্যাক্টলি
ওকে
এক্স্যাক্টলি
ওকে
I'm better than Forbidden. So
হি ইজ বেটার দেন ফরবিডেন। আর কিছু
yes,
বলা?
yes.
না নাই। আচ্ছা তাহলে আমরা গেমে যাই। গেমে জিন গ্রেভস আর পপি ভ্যান দিছে।
Graves Benta really justified, I'm বলবো, because
লাস্ট গেমে
yeah, last game he destroyed the enemy team with Graves. So we might see some listen picks, maybe some I think maybe listen or Zach.
what are the picks for the what will be the picks for the Nephilim and the top side as the popular god band?
Nephilim generally Poppy Van Nephilim last time he played Malphite into probably I forgot what champion was, but he played Malphite.
And what do you think about
Malphite
the
versus Trundle,
Trundle?
yes, Malphite versus Trundle.
Okay.
Malphite versus Trundle was the pick where Nephilim did pick Malphite, and I think Bullseye is picking Malphite for him
Yasuo?
again.
I think, as you can see, there are lots of knockup from the Malphite and Alistair. So basically, the our Forbidden might gonna go for the Yasuo.
Probably not, because Yasuo not really a reliable pick right now. You can take, I think, Oriana or maybe Victor or something like that for more consistent damage.
Well,
Because,
the Orianna would be really good as you know, the Malphite and Alistair. She just gonna transfer the ball to one of them and make it an insane initiation.
My question is that last match yesterday when they had that match in the winners bracket, they picked the Alistair and the Malphite, and then they went for Oriana, Caitlyn, and then they went for Graves. But Graves is banned, so they probably change it up. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the Caitlyn and the Oriana again. But Oriana is taken away by Shinji.
Wow, that's
So basically, they're trying to change up the red team's composition so
yes.
that
Also, another thing I'd like to say is that their jungler is playing Zac, so he kind of has a little bit of good synergy with Oriana ult. So I think that could be another reason they're taking it. Also, they're denying Forbidden of Oriana.
yeah. But not only that, but the pickup of Zac brings up disengage. His ult can be used as a disengage. If you bounce at the right spot, you can force the enemy team to jump backwards away from your team. So that way you can also create a sort of time delay for a disengage. So that would work because the red team has a lot of engage. And we see Mullah got DC, so
yeah, well, we're still waiting for Forbidden's pick. I think he's gonna be last pick again. We might see something like Victor from him, I think.
Yeah, but you know, it really depends on what the blue team will pick. You know, the last two.
We might see a Janna from Cool Dude. Oh, Janna is banned. This is one nice ban for Cool Dude. I think we might see something like a Braum, or I'm still waiting for their pick.
But red team at this point have a lot of engage and a lot of fight initiation with the listen kick, the ward jump kick, the then there's the Alistair Headbutt Pulverize, and then there's the Unstoppable Force by Malphite. So there's a lot of engage in there. I'm just, you know, interested to see what will be the mid lane, because they need someone who can burst people down. Victor would be a very good pick, in my opinion. And then Seeker goes for Riven again. Once that
Seeker will do the same thing he did in the last game against CJ. He will basically split push top lane, and they would need to take something with a good wave clear. I'd prefer a Victor pick right now, I think.
Yeah, Victor pick would be really nice because they need the burst. They need that burst damage. Or maybe they could go for something, you know. I'm not aware about. Like some, there might be some other pick which might be better suited. He's going for an Azir. I
User
haven't.
left your channel.
Azir wouldn't be bad, but considering the blue team, Azir has to be at a very good spot. Just stand there and then deal the damage. I think Victor would be better. What do you think?
I think Victor is a better choice right here, because I don't really know, because I don't really play Azir. I play Victor more. So yeah.
No, I play.
There's another thing I would like to say. Victor can do one thing. Azir can insack.
User joined
Okay,
your
I'm
Yeah.
channel.
back. I don't know
Right,
why I just
so-
got DC.
Azir can insack. So this is one playmaking thing that they can do.
Yeah.
That you can't really do on Victor. So I think this is one of the reasons that he's picking this Azir.
Uh-huh. But in my opinion, I play for Victor and Azir quite a lot. Azir. The problem with Azir in this season is that he doesn't have this special benefit. Like with all the changes he had, he's a more late game guy. His damage really scales from like level 11 or something.
Yeah,
If I remember right.
Late game
So,
he just scales really high.
You have to go late game, but in terms of late game, Azir gets outscaled by a few champions such as Cassiopeia, Orianna, Victor. They get really strong at the late game. So Azir in that aspect falls off a bit. Now I'm just willing to see why he picked the Azir. Azir does have the damage. Azir has the damage. Azir has that capability of doing insect, as you said.
And another thing is that Azir has escape.
Yeah,
This
Azir
is
has
yes,
escape.
yes. I think this is the main reason he picked Azir, because Zac will be focusing mid a lot, I think, and he needs that escape. You can't really escape with Victor if someone jumps on you. You just have a gravity field.
That is very true.
What do you think about the recent pick against Zac and also the contribution to the team fight?
I think Lee Sin pick is a comfort pick, mainly a comfort pick, but he will try to get the team ahead. This is not his real play style. He will invade the jungle. He will take their buffs, and he will put some pressure onto forest. So I think this is what he's trying to do right here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, but the Listen pick, Listen versus Zac. After the Zac pickup, the Listen pick was a very good one, I would say, because of that level 3 dual potential. Zac in level 3 cannot do anything to a Listen.
Well,
Not
he can run away. That's what you
Yeah,
can do.
he can run. He can run away, but Listen will do a very good job of altering Zac's tempo, Zac's way of
Yes, that's
spamming.
the thing. Yes.
This is a very good pickup in my opinion, because you can just take a part of your camp. Perhaps you start with red and then go in, find Zac, harass him a bit, make him go back to base, and then take one of his camps and then go back to your other side. It's a very good tactic that he could use. Now I don't know if he will use it. That's up to him. But it's a very good tactic he could use.
What do you think about who's gonna win the early phase between the blue team and red team?
I think the red team has a higher chance of winning the early phase, because as we all know, the Caitlyn Alistar combo in the bot lane is really strong. After level 3, there's a potential of a headbutt pulverize, and while the knocked up person is dropping, Caitlyn puts out the trap. That brings up a headshot, and at the same time you deal a lot of damage while the person is knocked up. Or you could even force a flash. That's a win.
Yeah, then it will just give Lee Sin to advantage to gank the bot lane and pick up
Yeah.
some kills, right?
Yeah, but in that aspect, there's a Braum there as well in the blue team. If the Braum times it well, comes with stand behind me and then the shield, then it's a moot point for them. But it's not always easy to pull off that, because you have to think about where your position is and so on. So basically, bot lane, bot lane will. I think the bot lane has, the red team has a better favor in the bot lane, and they have a Lee Sin in the jungle.
Right.
Like Lee Sin has more killing potential. Both of the junglers have a lot of ganking potential, but Lee Sin has a killing potential.
Right.
So
What do you think about the top lane as Malphite versus Riven? Because Riven is basically an aggressive top laner, where I think Malphite should be careful about his move and stuff. So what do you think about it?
I don't think pre-level 6, as we have seen last game as well, Seeker picked Riven into a Malphite against CJ. Before level 6, there won't be much unless there's a gank. There's a gank from the jungler. There won't be much because early game Riven doesn't have a lot of damage, so Malphite can just Q and run back, or use his potions to trade. And also he has Grasp of the Undying, which is a really good mastery, keystone mastery for trading. You basically one land here and you take some of the health back. So it's a very good trading potential before level 6 for Malphite. So nothing much will happen in there.
Okay.
But I'm interested to see in the mid lane how Azir plays. Because we all know Orianna will play really aggressive. Orianna will be aggressive.
Azir after level 2 he can go really aggressive in lane, and his laning phase is like really strong. I think in the top lane I think it can be a bit crucial for the junglers to gank if they can. This lane, the top lane matchup, it's more like the one that ganks early, gets ganked early loses the lane. It's kind of like that. So,
but I would say one thing: the blue team has more ganking potential with the Zac.
The ganking
the Zac
is easier with Zac.
The Zac skill path.
Yes, but Lee Sin is stronger, so we have to see which one pulls off the ganks better.
Yeah. But if we talk about the top lane where there's a Malphite and a Lee Sin, and there's a Zac and a Riven, I think a Zac and a Riven has more potential because there's more CC in there.
Yeah, definitely, and Riven alone has enough damage.
And Zac early game has a lot of damage. Never underestimate Zac early game damage. Not against the Lee Sin, but still he has damage.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So we're seeing that Forbidden is pushing out the wave, trying to hit it at fast level 2 because level 1 Azir is, useless.
Pretty weak.
Yeah. So we're seeing that he's already putting pressure and he took some tower hit. This is bad. Anyways, so
I guess two towers, right?
And Riven won the trade. You should never do extended trades at level 1 like that. You should always start hitting the minions with your Malphite, and as you can see, this could be an easy first blood if Riven was level 2. So you should be.
Also, the Lee Sin is at the bot side, so he can't respond to the Malphite.
Yes, that's the thing, and also you should not really trade like this with the Riven. You should be focusing on the minion wave, and when your grasp is up, you should then start trading.
And then we see a pause. So we can see Zac is at their blue, and Lee Sin just cleared his blue side of the camp, and is probably going to go for the scuttle, because there are no gank lanes open yet, and if there's a top lane where it'll take him a long time to go there. So I think he'll just take the scuttle and then possibly go back to his red side, or just back, get items, come back to the red side, and then try to do something, because Forbidden is really being aggressive in the mid lane, and in the bot lane there's not a lot of potential to gank because Alistar and Caitlyn seems to be in control. So, you guys, I have given my opinions. What do you guys think about the matchups, lane matchups?
Top lane matchup is a skill matchup, I'd say, because the one more skilled will get the upper hand, and the one with more experience. So I think Seeker is the one with more experience. So chances are that he will get the lead on Malphite. As for the jungle route, I think Zac is quite safe right now. Lee Sin will need to do some ganks to be important in the game. And as for bot lane, I think the red side has a better chance.
Mullah, what about you?
Well, I'm going to agree with Tahmid because as I was saying before this match was getting started, like Malphite versus Riven, I still believe that Riven will win the threat at the top lane, and I really want to see what's going to happen to the mid lane because I'm pretty much sure the Force is going to put pressure on Nazir, and definitely the red team have the upper hand from my perspective at the bot lane because Caitlyn can pretty much harass at the early game, and if Alistar can make some of the plays and burn it down one or two flashes from the blue side, so the Lee Sin can have the game potentiality. And as I'm seeing right now that the lanes are pretty much pushed towards the blue side at the bot lane, so I think they should start freezing the lane and let Lee Sin to come bot lane and making some gank.
Okay. You see a lot of DCs probably they're going to reconnect again. Possibly going for battle ping, I guess.
Could be because in the start when the in the lobby I was seeing someone was saying the 120 ms, so might be they're gonna use the battle ping, reduce the ping.
Yeah,
Or make
probably.
it stable at least.
Yeah, make it stable at least. 80 would be great.
80 would be great, but still, stable ping is better. Stable ping is better than any of the circumstances. No matter how high your ping is.
Alright,
stable
guys. So
is
I think they're back, and they will resume soon.
And
The game is back. The game is live.
okay, so we can say Malphite has regained his HP to some extent. So, but then again, Riven went for that trade.
Yes, so this is what Malphite is doing wrong. Like, he should be taking charge, restoring his shield, and then just hitting minions, pushing minions, and having his mastery point up all the time.
And there's that
nice,
combo.
that's a good trade. That's a good trade. Nice.
That is a very good trade.
Very good trade. A lot of damage.
And
Well,
Zac
we
is
can see
nowhere to
there
be
might be a
seen.
fight
Lee Sin has
between
spotted-
Lee Sin and Zac, and Riven will be the first one to go there.
Yeah, Lee Sin has spotted him, but Lee Sin will not engage. Lee Sin will not engage, just spotting him out, just saying he's here.
So that's a good. That's the good information for the bot lane as they can play aggressive and put some pressure on them. Hope to denying some CS from the blue side. And Caitlyn is out of mana.
Caitlyn is going
This is,
really aggressive with the mana, with her mana. She's going really aggressive, trying to use the 40 caliber net to proc her headshots, so that can deal a lot of damage. So far, mid lane is going somewhat even. Orianna is trading at one point. Azir is trading at one point. But really, these two picks in the mid lane will really show up in a team fight. In a team fight, we'll really know how it goes for for both the teams, because these two are they scale from the mid game and they get really strong from that point. So it'll be really interesting to see them. But Malphite is doing really wrong trades, but at that last point,
yes, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you trade without your grasp, you will lose trades. So this is kind of dependent, and I think he's dead. He's out.
I think the grasp and also the shield wasn't ready.
But there's a Zac gang, and that's
And
a
as
very
you can
good
see, the
escape.
escape used just to escape the
Any
right
summoner
time.
spell burned?
So,
No summoner spell.
Okay,
Just the dash.
Sorry, I was paying attention to the top side and the bot side.
I don't think so. Malphite anyone has blown their no. Zack's Seeker's teleport is down. So Nephilim is still keeping his teleport advantage. And there's a gank in the top lane. They know Malphite is vulnerable. And that's first blood.
First blood.
And this is good first blood.
Bot lane is going really aggressive. But Braum misses that, and that's a good flash play. Both exhausts are burned. And overall, both teams traded a lot. Like a lot of summoner spells there.
Pretty much both team has lose the exhaust.
Pretty
And
much
Braum used his flash.
Now, Braum has used boosted spells, so did Alistar, so... two summoners traded, but no casualties. But we can already see that Zack is putting pressure on the red team.
Yes, definitely. So the kill at top lane was really bad for Malphite, because he will be now facing a lot of problems facing the Riven. She's now stronger than him, and she will win trades. And another thing is that she can now pressure the towers.
And at the tower, as you can see, it's already he's having half of his HP. So Seeker is really gonna be aggressive a lot.
Back.
As you can see, he is just badly losing trades.
But Lee Sin so far hasn't showed up in any lane. He's just farming the lanes.
Tamil, what do you think about the
top
gank?
There's a shockwave.
Ooh.
And 2 flashes are burned in the mid lane, but no casualties again.
And Tamil, I was saying that what do you think about if the Lee Sin just gank at the top side? So do you think the Nephilim can have some better chance?
No, that might be a double. That might be a double for Riven. Riven is too far ahead at the moment.
Yes, this is the problem right here. You should be able to know the matchup, and you should be able to gank. Like I said before, the first person that gets ganked loses the lane. So this is exactly what happened here.
Yeah, but we have to consider that Zack has more ganking potential because of his E.
Yes, but you
can.
You can't say that Lee Sin can gank, right? Because Riven were pushed up, so pushed up. Lee Sin could be there at the right time.
Right. I agree with
He
you.
could have been there.
So both junglers started the bottom side, so they should be top side by the end of their rotation, right? So this is not something that happened here. So I think right now they should just stall it out before Malphite gets some items, and then they can start fighting again.
I think the idea in mind of the red team is that just somehow live in the lane. Somehow live in the lane, but that's a very bad position. Malphite has
He
no
should ult
idea,
out
and
right
it
now.
should be another kill. But that is a very good unstoppable force.
He was just standing there at the bush.
He had no idea that someone could be in that brush. And Lee Sin also walks away safely. But I think the red team's mentality is that we are somehow survive the lane, and we'll think about it in team fights. They want to do something on team fights. They don't want to they don't want to start their pressure from the laning phase. That's the game plan I think they have gone to, because Azir will get really strong later on.
Ooh, that's
And
a
there's
lot of
an
damage.
engage on Caitlyn, but Caitlyn flashed out. This might be a
Ooh.
kill on Caitlyn, and it is.
And
I think
it's
it's
a
a
problem for
It's a double kill.
it's a 2v2 win against the red team. I think the play from Draven was pretty good here,
Yeah, it
and,
was really good. Real aggressive.
and Caitlyn took a lot of damage in the process.
And there's a triple gank in the top lane where Malphite I think will probably die. Lee Sin tried, but Lee Sin couldn't, save Malphite.
The rotation from Orianna was really good, I think, because she just went there at the right time at the right moment. And if it wasn't for her ult, I don't think Malphite would have died there.
But if we're going to talk about wards, if you guys can see the wards right now, the red team has a lot of defensive wards, but very few offensive wards. I think that's hurting them. The blue team has their wards in the top side of the river, so that they can spot any rolls from Azir, or they can potentially spot out Lee Sin. I think that's stopping Lee Sin's pathing a bit in terms of ganking. But we can see Azir is there in the bot side. Zac is also there, so Azir has to back away.
I think the red team should wait it out a little bit more, because their scaling is not bad, I'd say. Malphite and Azir scale really well late game. Also Caitlyn. They're going to fight for the Infernal.
Yeah, but Lee Sin is close by, so they could probably contest that. But red team has taken a really defensive-minded approach.
Yes, this
And
is
then
this
we
is
have
something
to
that
see-
should be taken right now, because blue team is kinda ahead right now, so you should not let that go out of control. I don't really know where our Alistair is.
I think Alistair is trying to make some cross-map plays.
You can't really make cross map plays if your AD carry is behind like that.
And we can see there's a scuffle going on between Zac and Lee Sin.
And Lee Sin is invading.
Yeah,
What's
Lee
gonna
Sin
happen
wants
here?
to invade, and the blue team is already moving. Red team is already moving in.
And they're
They tried
Lee
to
Sin
move
backed
in, but
off.
Braum they tried to move in, but Braum had that shield to try and stop them from going in. Lee Sin is going to back off. So we can see they're just clearing the wards. They're putting up more wards. Try to get that vision so that they can do very good plays. But Lee Sin is ganking the mid lane. There is a gank, but then we see that Orianna did use the ghost and the flash.
And there's a fight going on. I'd say Braum is playing a crucial role in protecting the Draven. I think there should be more ganks in the bot lane, but I don't really know what Lee Sin is doing. He should focus more on bot lane, because they're going really aggressive. He can just come behind Dragon. And
Okay. They engage on Braum.
it's not a bad approach. You can just
But
hit
Braum
Braum
has
and
that
make him
shield,
low.
Braum doesn't take a lot of damage. Currently, blue team are 2.5, about 2.5 or more, possibly more. 2.5k gold ahead. So that is a good lead right now, at this point, at this stage. But it's not. But the red team is, in the last couple of minutes they haven't given up any kills. They're trying to play defensive, but a huge chunk of damage taken by Caitlyn. So Caitlyn will have to back after this wave.
Lee Sin is
Zac
coming
is
bot
there.
side. I think there might be. Alright. He's
Or there
he's
might be
DC. You should not be hitting him. I think Xeroxin is DC as well. These are some issues that need to be fixed.
Possibly they're just going to go. They're just going to walk away. No harm.
I wouldn't say no harm, but yeah, well, walking away would be a good option.
A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has disconnected.
What is DC? 3 of RBX DC. We haven't seen Panda DC yet.
Summoner has disconnected.
Xeroxin has DC as well.
A summoner has disconnected.
Wait, 5 people? Wow.
A summoner has reconnected. A summoner has reconnected.
Oh, everyone is reconnecting right now.
Has reconnected.
So we have to see if Panda's still there.
Summoner has reconnected.
They can confirm if he's there.
We have to really wait and see if they're going to Arsino, because we saw that Panda was walking front somewhere. Okay.
I still don't know if they're ready or
So
not.
they're just
Okay,
going to walk
okay,
away.
he's going back.
But Caitlyn decided to stay in the lane.
I hope there will be no dives because Lee Sin is
But
nearby.
there's another
Another
pause.
pause.
A summoner has disconnected.
Yeah, this time Seeker DC'd. There's a lot of DCs going on right now.
A summoner has reconnected.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, you didn't miss much because we were most of the time we were just in pause.
No, I was actually, when the pause just happened, then I just went to use some stuff. Is there any blackout has it just happened, or just?
No. The pause happened first. Then they
No, I'm just-
resumed.
That if there are, and again another blackout or something.
If there is blackout, there is backup for that. They are
Um,
resuming the game.
And the game is back.
I think they just let Yo Panda go back to base, and while Lee Sin is standing there.
Are they DC again?
I
Did you
think
see
so.
again?
Or what? Yeah, the Raven. Or are we DC? Hey,
No,
it
they're,
is
they're, they're
DC.
disconnected.
everyone is disconnected.
Not everyone. The bot lane seems fine.
A summoner has disconnected.
My point is, most of the time we saw that I don't think any matches were held during the morning time before, because the net was gone all the time, internet.
All the matches just was started from the afternoon, I guess.
Yes,
The last 2 days.
A summoner.
Well, yes, but let's see.
Maybe the same problem is coming back again and again. You know, for the past few days, all of the matches were after
Yeah.
after 2 p.m. mark.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
They scuffle, but so Azir has to back away. And there's another boss.
A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has disconnected.
Wow.
A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has reconnected. A summoner has reconnected.
So they connected back.
A summoner has reconnected.
But Azir really took a lot of damage there.
Yeah, he did.
That shield of Reason.
Oh, there's a fight between the junglers, but Lee Sin is going to safely back away.
What?
That was a kick. I don't know for what reason.
I don't know why he did.
I don't know why he was even there.
Yeah, the Azir wasn't in close. I think
They
they're
might
gonna
try to
siege the
siege.
tower.
See the tower, and Malphite is
And-
nearby.
There should be a siege because Zack is going to jump in. Zack
He
changed
won't
his
jump
mind.
in.
Oh,
But
I
there's an
think
ulti and a very
top
defensive ulti
wave
by.
exhausts
Yeah, but
everything
there's
this-
no way he's going to survive. This is the thing that the blue team are doing really well. They're taking the initiative and they're, doing those tower
Taking
dives.
those
But
risks.
in the bot lane, there's a tower dive, but a very good flash.
a lot of
And
Wow.
Raven gets the kill. A 2v,
And
a 2v1.
it was a really good
really good
play
play.
made by Draven. That he did.
And a 2v1 and Draven outplays both to get a kill. To get 2 kills actually. So all around the map, like the blue team are taking all these advantages, and now it's like it has resulted to a 5,000 goal lead.
Are you gonna see the same match types like a Samsung Watt versus SKD at the match 3?
Samsung Galaxy, what they did was really exceptional, but
Just saying, things could be turned the same stuff with the
now,
bubble.
but with this kind of a combination, I don't know, because Draven really skills late game.
Draven scales, but I'd also like to say that things can change anytime because the players are really skilled. In that kind of sense, like the team fights can change a lot of things.
Yeah, because
the Malphite ultimate-
the Azir also he's not one of his shining moments. So if the games go for like in the next 6 to 10, 11 minutes, I guess there should be some changes.
Now, unless the blue team keeps what they're doing. Keeps on doing what they're doing. don't let the red team come into team fights.
Right.
Just destroy them before that phase even comes in. And we can see there is a roam in the bot lane. They might result for a dive, but they are not because they don't know where the Lee Sin or the
red
Azir
team is losing control of the jungle. This is a bad thing for them. So they want to keep up the control as much as they can. Because Zac will dive you from the jungle side. He's not going to gank you like Hecarim, so you should be warding your jungle first.
So they did go for the Infernal Dragon. The red team cannot contest this. Lee Sin is in the top side, so this will be a free Infernal. And the next one will be a mountain. The next one will be a mountain Drake.
And we can see that Zac is coming around, and
this might be bad for the red team. This might be really bad, and there might be a kill right now for
and this is really good synergy.
Excellent synergy.
And then there's an Orianna as well, and the shockwave misses, but still they pick up 2 kills.
I think this game is getting to the point where the red team might not be able to pull this off, because the blue team is not only strong, but they're showing good coordination also.
Yeah. It's already about 8,000 gold lead right now, and they're just clearing the ward. Wants to do something, but
instead of pushing him in, he is just pushing me out. And I'd also say that teleport cancel was also not necessary.
They could go for it. There's a lot of damage onto Braum, but Alistar might die right now.
Alistar is DC.
And that's a very good kick by...
Yeah, but Alistar is DC.
Yeah, this Draven can this
red team agreed to surrender. You can see the red team agreed to surrender for with 4 votes and 0 against. I think they want to play this game again, take their chances.
Yeah, I think that before getting more before they just go into the more depression because of the game,
yes,
they should just start.
A game like this is really stressful, so
yeah,
before they get stressed, they want to start a whole new game again.
Right. I think that's a wise decision from the red team.
They could just resume and go on with the surrender, I think.
I don't know what they will do, but let's see. So I think they will go for the surrender because it's better. You go for the surrender and then next game you just come back in. I think the side does change. Probably they will get blue side.
The presence in the lane was really low by the Lee Sin. I do agree with you.
But I would say that for the next game, the red team has to really come up with a new plan. They tried to go with that same plan when they beat RVX in the winners bracket match, but RVX already knew they were going to go for it, so they started denying some of the picks. Oriana in particular, they just denied Oriana, and that brought up to a whole. They brought up with a very engaged heavy comp where um, Forbidden was forced to pick a Nazir for the escape, or I don't know if he had any other plan in mind, but it seemed like he needed the escape as well. So, but they really need to come up with a new plan. They need to come up with a new plan and say, yeah, we're going to execute this, because they cannot go for the same plan again, because RVX has already figured that out. Yeah, but it's not always about the individual players as well. Sometimes it's about the team comp. RVX really knew that they were going to go for this comp again, and they came up with something else. They came up with a Draven lane, a Riven into a Malphite. Then they took out they denied Oriana from Forbidden, and then they took it themselves. So these little things, they matter. So I think, in my opinion, LEH should come up with a better plan for the next game. For a better success rate, let alone the player skill. I think they're talking it over or something about all this constant DCs. Is it? Let me check the plan. Yeah, the game is over. Why are we here? The game is over. Are they starting it right now?
They should start it right now.
I think there'll be a 10-minute break or something, because that's generally the term. Basically, you need that break to just, to regroup, to, think it through. What are you going to go for? What plan are we going to execute next game? How do we overcome this loss for the red team? How do we overcome this loss? For the blue team, they had a very good game. So I think they'll come in with a very good mentality.
You can do the fails, some of the fails Alistair did in bot lane. You can afford to do them. So as long as you play your hand correctly, I think they should work out. You also can't play farm game with Lee Sin. It should be ganking top and whatnot. And also, I'm really I think the top lane trading could be better from the Malphite. He could not trade well, probably due to lack of experience. But I think if he plays something else, or if they can ban out Seeker or something like that, I think they have a better chance.
I think they're going. I think, in my opinion, Red Team is going to come up with a new comp or a new plan that we're gonna go for this. I think that should be the first step, because IVX has really figured them out this game. In the laning phase, in the pick and ban phase, they have predicted that they're gonna go for that. We're gonna do some stuff, that we're gonna ban the Graves. We're gonna take the Oriana. We're not gonna let them do the same thing over again. So that's what happened. And they took some new picks. They integrated into a comp that could work really well, and they executed it well. But for the red team, they were not playing very well individually. But
Yes, that's the thing I'm going to say. Like, you have to play good individually to make an impact on the team, right? So if you are losing trades and if you are not ganking, you can't really make a plan work out, right?
if we think like halfway through the game, Malphite started dying. Azir was having a really hard time with Orianna because Orianna was going really aggressive and using the shock waves to try and kill the Azir.
Yes,
Um,
and also the dive on Azir as well. That was a pretty good play by the blue
Yeah.
team.
And then there's, the bot lane. The bot lane started losing the scuffles because Alistar started roaming around somewhere.
Yes, this is the problem. Like, if the lanes are not going as planned, you can't really roam and make it better, right?
Yeah.
So
That's the point. So I would really expect them that this comp didn't work.
so
I don't know if they're going to go for the same thing all over again, but I would say it's better not
yes,
to.
this comp will work if you can make it work. So
Yeah.
if you are losing trades, you should not trade. You should wait for your jungler to come gank
Yes.
you, right? So
Right.
you just stay there. You just stay put. You just farm waves. You try to survive. Then when level 6 hits, you tell your jungler that come gank top, and I'm going to ult, and we are gonna get some kills. So something like that. If
I
you're
think
losing trades,
the
you
early
shouldn't
game,
fight.
the early game, the Nephilim, he didn't actually get much of support from the jungler. So that's what the whole game. I really agree with Tamik by that. The jungler should have more impact in this game because the bot lane was almost winning, but if Lacey would come come and response. Also the mid lane and top lane, we see a lot less pressure by the jungler. So I think that's the upper hand advantage that the blue team had.
Yes,
This
and I also want to say something about the jungler clear, like Natsu. His clear was a bit defensive, I'd say, because with Lee Sin, what you can do is you can do the rush clear, you can do Gromp, you can do Wolves, then you can go red, and then you can be ready for a gank. You don't do your blue in the way. So if you're playing against a Kha'Zix, what you can do is you can do a full clear to hit level 6 before Kha'Zix does, because the one that hits level 6 before wins the matchup. So in this case, I think he could do Gromp, Wolves, then do red, and then he could meet up.
start would be really good.
Yes, I mean start with Gromp, then Wolves, then red.
The blue route.
Yes. But
Okay.
you don't do all the camps. You do only Gromp, then you go to Wolves, then you
Okay.
take red. Then what you do is you meet up with the enemy jungler at Scuttle.
Okay.
So at that time you are almost full HP and you can almost always win the fight. So I think something like that would have been better than clearing the entire blue side. He was low and he wasn't ready to gank at that time. So
Well, we can see that a few of them are not even in the client right now. I don't know what's.
I
Was
think
the-
they are having issues
That-
with the connections.
Or maybe they opted for a break because you just played a game. Give a 10-minute break so that you understand. You talk it out. You think about what you're gonna do. That should be the focus. Like
Yes,
refocus
definitely.
yourself. Refocus yourself. You lost a match, doesn't matter. Next game you have to come up stronger. You have to come up with a new plan. That would be the best part.
Yeah, taking the surrender, I too really it was a wise decision to get themselves a less frustration situation. So making a restart from the red side would be a really wise decision.
Yeah. So
Okay, I just want to ask you one question. Does the Elise was banned in the banning phase?
no, at least
No.
wasn't.
List was open.
Okay.
Yes, this is one thing you said right now. I think Alice would have been a good choice as well.
Unless the RVX is banning it out, but I think one of the comfort pick would be Alice after the Grace. So basically, if the Alice is open for the Natsu, he should try to take it out.
But honestly speaking, Zack into Elise um, would be interesting. It would be very interesting.
If you think about the com, I'm not sure about it, but the thing is, Ellis with the Ellis, Natsu is really comfortable with it, and he can put a lot of lane pressure. So that's what's missing in this match. So if Natsu can take Ellis and which is his comfortable pick, and he can put the pressure which we are expecting, or the fans of the LEH expecting. So basically, that will be really good comp for the LEH right now.
Yeah. So Tamit, can you find out when the game is going to happen or something?
I'm asking them, but there's no reply yet. I think I'm stopping the stream,
Okay, sure.
and I will resume when the game is about to start.